Hey everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to my channel. I'm recording my second video of the day in the same outfit. It's all good. I decided to batch record today and I decided to do two videos in this outfit because I like this shirt, so why not? Anyway, you guys are not here to talk about clothes. It's all good. So, in the world of BookTube, there's a lot of discussion about consumerism and do we buy too many books? Do we spend too much money on books? That sort of thing. And I decided to kind of do a video about like how do I afford to read as many books as I read. If you do the math, I tend to average anywhere between 15 to 20 books a month in my reading, and that's a lot of books. And a lot of people are like, how do you afford to buy that many books a month? Because y'all know paperbacks and hardbacks are expensive. Even ebooks can be anywhere between $3 to $5, $6, $7 depending on the author and the publisher. So they're like, I don't understand how you read so many books for such a cheap price. So I wanted to give you guys some tips on how I afford to read so many books without spending a lot of money. Now, some of this may be new information for you. Some of it may not be. I feel like a lot of the things I use on here are not new things. So it may not be news for you, but I thought I would go ahead and share with you guys some of the more obvious ones and maybe some ones that aren't as obvious so that you can get some ideas on how you too can afford lots and lots and lots of cheap books. Alright, the first option is the most obvious option, the library. So a lot of us, I think, take for granted that we all have a lot, well, most of us, because there are some countries in this world that don't have as extensive libraries as we do, or maybe you live in a smaller town, but most of us have a library. Libraries are great for, obviously, physical books, but even if you're like me, I don't read a lot of physical books because, can't see and whatnot. But libraries nowadays, most of the time, also have tie-ins to ebooks and audiobooks. So I know that my library, for example, has Hoopla, which they use for ebooks, and it has Libby, which they use for audiobooks. So you can use your library card and never have to really step foot in the library and still download audiobooks and ebooks, which are really nice options, rather than paying for those. And so you can check out as many as you want to. Now, obviously, your selection is going to be limited to whatever your library has. They may not have everything you want to read, but they'll have a lot of good books that you can check out, and that's the most easiest way to get free books to read. I mean, libraries are funded by like tax dollars and stuff anyway, so you're paying for your library anyway. You might as well use it. The second option is Thriftbooks. Thriftbooks has been around for a while, but I hadn't heard of them. So this was new to me as about a year ago. But Thriftbooks are great because it's an online, like, used book, used bookstore, I guess is what I'm going for. Thriftbooks taps into used bookstores all around the country to sell used books. So if you don't care about a pristine book, or if you don't care that, like, the spine is broken or there's a couple marks on the cover, if you're not, like, super picky about that, they will actually tap into used bookstores, and you can get books that are as low as a couple dollars. I mean, you can get like a hardback for $1 or $2 or more if you want to get a better copy of it. They have a great points system, so you can earn points, and it's cheaper than buying a new book. So you earn enough points, you get money off of book, or you get a free book. And again, I can get like a whole bunch of physical copies of books for very little money. You do have to pay shipping and whatnot. But I've had a lot of good, experiences in buying books I really wanted and didn't want to spend a lot of money on. And also, none of my books have really been in bad quality. So, for example, I'll show you one that I got, which is a Francine Rivers book. This is a hardcover book. I spent $3 on it. It was considered used. It was considered, like, good quality, which not best is, like brand new. You'd have like better, best, poor. This was considered just good because there's a mark right here on her face. I don't know if you can see that. There's a mark on her face, but the rest of this is totally fine. There's no writing on the inside of the book. The pages are clean. The binding looks fine. It doesn't smell like cigarettes. And I spent $3 on this because she had a mark on her face. I can buy some Goo Gone and get the Goo Gone to take this off her face, and then nobody cares. So I recommend Thriftbooks if you want like physical books, but you don't want to spend a lot of money on them. This is another one I got that was good condition. I think this one was like $3.25. It's the second book in this series, but similar thing. It's got a couple like gooey marks where there's been stickers, and this one has like a pencil mark. Well, I can't find it, but there's like a pencil mark, but it's legit a pencil. so I can just erase it. So for $6, I got 2 books, and normally these go for how much these go. These are hardcovers. Hold up. Normally this book would go for $19.95. $40 versus $6. So anyways, Thriftbooks, if you have not heard of them yet, check them out. I think everybody's heard of them except for me, but if you haven't, you're welcome. All right. And then the third option is Goodreads giveaways. Now, I do not join very many of these. I joined some. I probably win a Goodreads giveaway a couple times a year. They're not easy to win, but if you want to read something that looks good, why not? Because it's always a nice surprise when you get the email, hey, you won, and you're like, hey, I won, free book, yeah. So it doesn't hurt to give them a try. All right, so now we're past physical books. Let's talk about ebooks, because if you're going to read on the cheap, really ebooks are the cheapest way to get books. I'm just being honest. Ebooks are the way to go if you want to read a lot and you don't want to spend a lot. That's at least what I'm finding. Obviously, you can go to like used bookstores in your own area of the world. But for the purposes of this video, I have a lot of ebook recommendations. The first one is the one that everyone talks about. It's Kindle Unlimited. I love Kindle Unlimited. I joined it about a year ago. I'm obsessed. It is $9.99 a month, and you literally have unlimited Kindle books. Now, most of these books are indie authors or small press authors. So if you're wanting to read like the New York Times best-selling authors that are on like the top 10 and on the shelf of your grocery store, you will most likely not find them on Kindle Unlimited. Sometimes you do because different publishers will have sales going on, but for the most part, you will not find these on Kindle Unlimited. These are a lot of indie and small press authors. However, a lot of my favorite authors right now are coming from Kindle Unlimited. In fact, if you read the books on my TBR list, not TBR list, my wrap-ups for the last, 3-4 months, most of the authors on my wrap-ups have come from Kindle Unlimited. I love Kindle Unlimited. You're allowed to borrow 10 books at a time, but it's unlimited. So once you hit your 10 count and you read a couple, just return them. You can check out a couple more. I love it. The only thing you have to remember about Kindle Unlimited is that unlike buying a physical book or buying an ebook, like buying, sometimes authors can take their books off of Kindle Unlimited. So I always say if you want to read a whole series, you might want to get to the series ASAP because you don't know if the author will keep it up there or not. Okay. The next 3 I'm going to mention are very similar. I will explain the first one to you, and then the other 2 are going to be very similar to this one. So the first one is called BookBub. A lot of people are familiar with BookBub. You can sign up for their daily email, and what BookBub does is you sign up with your favorite genres. So you can tell them like, what are my favorite books, who are my favorite authors, what are my favorite genres, and then you can choose to receive a daily email or a weekly email. I get the daily because I like getting my daily BookBub email, and they will send you books from those genres that are either free or reduced price. So for every email I get 2 or 3 free books, 2 or 3 that are at 99 cents, and then I'll get a couple that are like $1.99 and $2.99. And this is all authors. This is indie authors. These are big name trade published, Nora Roberts shows up on the list. I mean, they have everybody from big authors to little authors on here. And it's just free and or reduced priced ebooks. So I always give myself a monthly budget. This is my budget for the month. This is my budget then I break that down to weekly. This is my budget for the week. And I get on there and I get books. And most of the ones I download are actually free ones, but I will budget myself a couple of 99-cent books for the week or whatever. And it's a great way to get cheap ebooks to read without spending a lot of money. Another one that's exactly like BookBub almost is called Book Gorilla, and then another one is called Riffle Books. Both of these are either daily and or weekly emails that will send you free and reduced ebooks. So I will put links to these all below so you can sign up. And I actually think BookBub has the best recommendations. Riffle Books tends to be more like indie authors, and Book Gorilla is kind of hit or miss, but it's my favorite's really BookBub. But the other 2 are good as well, so I subscribe to all 3. And then the very last one I want to recommend to you is called eReaderIQ. This one is not an email. This is a website that you actually have to go to, but this is an online database of all of Amazon's free books at any time. It gets updated hourly. So you can go to the website, you can drill down into like the genre, the subgenre, the date that it went free. You can sort it all kinds of different ways. And it'll just literally give you every single free book that's on Amazon at that particular time. So you can look it up. It gives you the link to the Amazon page. You can download your free book, and voila, you have your free books to read. Now, I probably go on here maybe once or twice a week and look for books. I don't do it as often as I just go by my BookBub emails. But if you have time to drill down and look, this is a great way to do it. And this does all the free books on Amazon. So this is indie authors, this is traditional published authors, this is anybody at any time who has a free book on Amazon. It will be on this website and you can download it and read it. So again, you can get lost in there though. Like I've been in there like, oh, I just spent an hour on this website. I need to stop because I have things to do. So really good recommendations there though, because you can drill it down into the different genres and subgenres. So it's really cool. So that is how I can afford to read 15 to 20 books a month without breaking the bank. In fact, if I really am honest with you guys, I spend the $9.99 a month on Kindle Unlimited, and I might buy one book a week. Maybe. At most, I'm spending $15 a month, maybe $20 if I have a good month, buying books. I really don't spend a lot of money on books. I read most of my stuff on Kindle Unlimited or free. So you don't have to break the bank. And I don't have a lot of physical books because I can't read a lot of physical books, so I don't spend a lot of money on physical. So you don't have to break the bank to read good books. All right. If you have any recommendations on where to get free and or reduced books, leave it in the comments below or leave me a link to your video where you've talked about this because it's always nice to get more options. But I will say that my TBR list is very long. Physical TBR is maybe 20 books, but my ebook TBR, I think I've got like 200 books on my TBR. So, but I didn't pay for half of it, so there you go. Alright guys, leave me some comments below. Tell me where you get your free and reduced books. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.